What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's Albert here, Tech and Games Crusader, and we have a deep dive on disassembly and modding potential for the PXN X8, and this is a Mixbox style controller that's under $70 on Amazon. So, where the price is appealing for mod potential, I wanted to see what can be done on this. It is using Gathering blue switches. Probably want to see if they're hot swappable, because if they are, that brings the potential for this up a whole lot, because then you can mod not only the keycaps but the switches to make it not clicky. You can change the buttons depending on what the connection is inside. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this and see. On the back, also, the biggest thing is we get these keycaps out. Let's use our trusty, never rusty Radio Shack micro driver, because I don't have a keycap puller handy at the moment, but that would be your preferred way. Thing is, when you're pulling keycaps using not a keycap puller, you don't want to go too deep, because then you could mess up your actual key switch, because it doesn't take very far in to go too far. Alright, got those uncovered. Let's take a look and see what we need here. Got our iFixit kit here. It's a precision driver kit. It's the one they used to sell at Radio Shack. Because I used to do PR and marketing for a company that bought Radio Shack back in the day. So, let's see what size. You could probably get by on a PH0 or PH1. Grab both of those just in case. The reason I'm not using the mouse stick is because I've been using it like crazy and it needs to charge still yet. So that answers that. Let's go ahead and see how much wiggle room. Got PH0. Let's go for the PH1. That should almost be an exact fit. Yep. No wiggle room. I'm not going to remove these yet, because I want to see if they're just there for show. So far, those are all the same length. There's 3 down. Four down. Sit that over there because it is magnetic. I do feel an indentation in the center, so we may have an extra screw under the center as well. We shall see. I after I get this last one out. If the case opens, it could be for something else, or it could be attaching a board to it inside so they could save space and stack them back to back, one on the top, one on the bottom. So, no, it's just a nub. It's an indentation, so that's good. Means there is just 6 screws to access the inside. Awesome. Alright. I'm going to sit down here so we can get in closer. Take a look. It's interesting that they're using these powered switches. This style of connector is definitely one way you can go about it. Here we have our, looks to be a 5-pin cable. It is a 5-pin cable. But it's not the traditional 5-pin cable. So let's take a look at the PCB itself. Looks like 3 screws, maybe a couple of tabs. It does look like indeed these switches are soldered. You can see the little bulbs of solder on there. I like that it's a white PCB on top though. That's pretty cool. Now if you are able to solder, then yes, you could detach these switches and connect new switches to it of different kinds. The interface here, it is actually a really clean, squared off design. Buttons look like so they have weights in here, it looks like, as well. Got one weight right there and one weight right here. Here's the board for the audio. And if you wanted to fancy this up, you could sleeve this cable. I've done it before. So let's take a look on here. Are these attached in cups? So these just look like straight up 2-pin cables. Is this in the base of the button, or is this inside of the button? It's a question I have. And you see on here, switch is PXU or P4XU-0008 KBS-1. This is A1. Date is 9/26/2018. And they're all the same date that they were installed or fabricated. That limits the amount of modding you could do on this. But as far as access to things, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's just 6 screws to get into it. These, I don't see any clips to eject this switch type on here, so that does limit what these buttons could be. And these are just casts right here. They're frame casts. It has the illusion of being an actual switchable button. Now, if you could somehow, let's see what's inside. So yeah, these are actually running Gathering switches. Let's see if I can get more light in there. Hold on. Give me a bit, guys. I'm gonna read this and see which direction it's labeled. Alright guys, so I was reading it upside down. It's not Gathering, it is Kai Ching, and that's the same thing as well. So these switches are in upside down, so when you turn it the correct way to where the writing is on the bottom, you can see where it says Kai Ching on it. And just to show you on this one as well. So these are probably either knockoff Gathering or they're in-house created, because the PCB on here is actually soldered completely, built into the button. There's no way to take out the switch without breaking or messing up the button. So let's go ahead and put the plunger back in. You could replace the plunger with a different color if you wanted to, though. So that's one thing you could do. It feels okay as far as the button goes. I'll do a testing video of me testing it out on something so I can see how it feels. But yeah, that's as far as I was going to go. Where that if I couldn't do any modding on it, I'm not going to go further trying to mod stuff. I will just put everything back as it was discovered. Because the more times you screw and unscrew these sockets, you are at the risk of stripping out the holes, because it is just a plastic tap. Go ahead and set the screw. Not putting it too tight in there because I don't want to strip anything out. Let's go ahead and attach our ribbon cable here. So you would actually have to have quite a bit of work in this to mod it to a standard type of Alright guys, sorry about that. Phone got too hot. But yeah, you would have to take a bit of effort to change out to whatever you would want otherwise, like a Brook fighting board or something like that. So things to notice on this: this and this and this. We have 3 weights in this: one up here, here, and here. That's what makes this case a lot heavier. So let's go ahead and get the screws back in. Try and get this video finished up before the phone gets too hot again. Where I'm using my neck mount thing, I don't have the ability to use a semiconductive cooler on the phone right now, so. But yeah, you could get like a Buttercade WASD switch panel to replace in this, and take all of the other wiring and mount it to a screw terminal or conversion for a Brook fighting board or a retro Brook Retro Zero board, or Pi Zero board rather. That way you would have the ability to change out to other parts in here that you would more prefer. But as it is, for the cost to get those switches or a WASD style board switch and case, it's not too shabby. I mean, the other alternative you could do as well is get like an Odin from Layer Shift. Layer Shift or Buttercade are the 2 I would recommend as far as being able to replace parts in this. Let's go ahead and take a look at the directions of each switch. This is the top switch. No. This is the right switch. There we go. We got go ahead and pull this top one because that's not correct. Then you have your switches and everything's back together. And guys, you know, feel free if you have any questions or comments about this product and what can be done to it, feel free to leave them below in the description. And if you like the video, give a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe to the channel to support or know whenever I have new content coming live, you can do that. If you want to follow me on Twitter at Xyber to know when I have new things coming in that may be potential future content, feel free to do so. Guys, this is Xyber, your Tech and Games Crusader. Hope you guys have a good night, good day. Take care. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.